So Zohan Mundani has a plan to create government-owned supermarkets, and I need you guys to know that this is not as innocent. It's not as community-based. It's not as, oh, I'm just the caring new mayor and I want to make things better for the average New Yorker. I want them to be able to afford groceries, the average single parent for the Bronx, for Brooklyn, for Harlem, for Queens. I care so much about you guys that I want to create government-owned supermarkets because you guys need lower prices. You should be able to afford groceries. It has nothing to do with that. This has everything to do with him pushing the Muslim agenda and the Al Sharia law, and it has everything to do with this right here. You know what? Let's before I tell you guys the secret to why he's doing this, and it has everything to do with Islam, I want to play this video for you guys, and then I'll stop and tell you why.
Hey, you got Slim Jim?
New York City is talking about
It's very expensive to shop at a local supermarket.
Anything you buy is high.
8.9% higher over last year, to be exact. If you like eggs, meat, poultry, and fish, and over 5%.
Family of 6. The pear used to cost me like $40. Now it's like at $97.
The fruit and everything is so expensive.
The prices and the discontent are why Zohan Mundani, the front-runner and Democratic candidate for mayor of New York City, has made addressing grocery prices a key part of his platform.
Grocery prices are out of control. As mayor, I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores.
Grocery stores.
Grocery stores.
City-owned grocery stores.
But the proposal has attracted some criticism from the private grocery industry and from Mundani's fellow mayoral candidates.
It's going to dismantle our independent supermarkets, bodegas. And when you start dismantling and having government displace workers, now you're feeding a problem.
Why would you subsidize rich people's purchase of food? Why would you do that? Well, that's social ideology.
So let me tell you guys what this is all about, then we can finish the video. This is all about one screen, but I'll just read it to you guys. The Muslim, it's all about haram in Islam. In Islam, as a Muslim, as a follower of Islam, you are not allowed to create interest, not even in your banks. The banks overseas where they are in Muslim practicing countries, Muslims are not allowed to create interest. Allah forbids it. So it's a huge sin in their religion. And so let's read about why he really wants to create these socialistic, communist government-run grocery stores and take away from the small business owners, like he was saying, the bodegas and such of that nature. If you're in Texas, it would be the Fiestas, the Minyards, the small little grocery stores. So it says, interest. Why is interest haram? Interest, riba, RIBA, is considered haram in Islam because it goes against the principles of fairness, justice, and mutual cooperation that are at the heart of the Islamic faith. In Islamic finance, charging or paying interest on loans is seen as a form of exploitation. Give me 1 second. Where was I? Oh, why did it do that? Okay, let's just start from the beginning. It says, today we will embark on a journey to understand why interest is haram in Islam. This is a topic of great significance. Riba refers to taking an extra amount of money beyond the principal amount for lending money or delaying payment of a debt. It says, although this is common in conventional banking systems, this practice is considered haram or forbidden in Islam. The importance of the topic cannot be overstated. A deep understanding of the reasons behind the prohibition of riba will help us make informed decisions in our or Rabba, I don't know how you say that, in our financial dealings and lead a life that is in line with the teachings of our beloved prophet, police be upon him, Muhammad, the one that married a 6-year-old, anyway, and the principles of Islam. This article highlights 10 reasons why riba haram in Islam. By exploring these reasons, I believe why it's a sin in Islam, we will appreciate the significance of riba-free financial transitions in our lives and community. So let us begin. I need you guys to understand this is the sole reason that Zohan Mundani wants to create government-run grocery stores. Because if you look at the people that he has elected in his cabinet or whatever you call it, like one of the ladies that was saying, y'all need to be a gangster. How gangster are you? Just be willing to go to jail, basically blow us all up like they did in 9/11. These are the people he's putting in office, and they're basically trying to create their little Islamic circles in the school. If you watch some of the videos, they're like, we need to get in the schools, we need to get in the governments. So now they're trying to run the grocery. They're basically trying to run the city and push the al-Sharia, push the law. There's videos where the Muslims are saying we're not going to stop till every household in America is bowing down to Allah. We're not going to stop. This is their way of doing it now. He's doing it with a smile on his face, with the suit on, like he's your average white Joe, like he's assimilated when he's not. His ultimate goal, be not deceived, is to push al-Sharia, to push the Muslim agenda, to push that terrorist agenda, whether you believe it or not. And so y'all thinking it's just for the people and to lower prices. He doesn't care about y'all. His people are in his ears like, we need to put the Muslims in the government. We need to run this. We need to run the schools. That's why he's saying everything is free. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Oh, we can just take it from the rich and give it to the poor. It sounds good, but it's fake. Nothing is free in this world. It's only worse when you make the buses free. Everybody rides it now. Dangerous people are getting on even more. It's unsafe. People are already getting killed, getting burnt on subways. Nothing is free. But all this goes back to is him trying to put the Muslim in government, and because they can't collect interest. So this is why he's trying to do it at a government system. So it's not bigger, where he would be in trouble for having the regular stores that collect interest. So he's trying to do it at a small, he's trying to say government, but really what he's doing is trying to put his people in these positions, right? So that Allah can get the honor out of the school-based system, out of the grocery stores, out of the housing. He's trying to put the Muslim people in order so that they can have an Islamic takeover starting in New York, but flooding over the rest of USA and the world. So let's finish reading it because there's significance in it. What is riba? This is what you got. This is behind him trying to create these socialistic grocery stores. It's his religion, people, and I'm surprised no one is bringing this up. This is what I think it is. If I'm wrong, or if you think I'm wrong, and if you have facts when I'm wrong, put it in the comments. The origination, that doesn't sound right. Let's just say the origin of the term interest dates back to the 17th century with the emergence of the banking system at the global level. Interest means giving in or taking any excess amount in exchange for a loan or debt. Listen, people, this is why he's trying to make it small so that his Muslim people can get in and so that it can all go back to Allah and for the mission of al-Sharia. You know, death to America and death to Israel is what they say. Not me as a Christian. That's what radical Muslims say. But it's supposed to be a religion of peace. I'm trying to let you guys know that it's deeper than him just caring about you guys. He doesn't care. It's because they can't collect interest. Every loan that derives a benefit to the lender is RIBA. Prophet Muhammad, police be upon him because he was a pedophile prophet. Why is interest haram? It's considered haram because it goes against the principles of fairness, justice, and mutual cooperation that are at the heart of the Islamic faith. In Islamic finance, charging or paying interest on loans is seen as a form of exploitation, as it creates a situation in which the lender benefits from the borrower's need for money without offering any real value or service in return. Who do you guys think they're trying to offer service to? Allah. So if he gets his people to be at the top, even if you guys can't see them in these little government-run grocery stores, then it all goes back to pushing al-Sharia. It goes back to the fear of Allah. It goes back to glorifying Allah. This is what you guys don't understand. The Quran has several verses that categorically prohibit riba or riba, R-I-B-A, such as Surah al-Baqarah, verse 278, which states, "Oh, you who believe, fear Allah and give up what remains of your demand for riba, usury, if you are indeed believers." Another one says, it's a Surah al-Imran, verse 130. "Oh, believers, do not consume interest, multiplying it many times over, and be mindful of Allah so you may prosper." And then al-Baqarah, verse 275, "Those who consume interest will stand on judgment day." Did you guys think he cares about you? And it's all about him spreading his Islamic faith and protecting himself in the eyes of Allah and his pedophile prophet Muhammad, police be upon him, because he was a pedophile, like I said. "Those who consume interest will stand on judgment day like those driven to madness by Satan's touch. That is because they say trade is no different than interest, but Allah has permitted trading small businesses and forbidded the bigger businesses." The Walmarts, the big one. It has to be small. You have to put Muslims in control. It has to go back to Allah. Or even if it looks like it's regular people, the Muslims have to be over them. You have to put your people in place. That's what this is about. It's about not committing riba, and not accumulating interest, and not being cast to hell on the day of judgment in these stupid Muslims' eyes by their false god Allah. This is what this is about. This is why he's creating so small socialistic government-run stores. Now let's just finish it.
A poll of New Yorkers showed that 66% of people supported the idea of government-run groceries. But this idea of the government intervening in the grocery sector isn't actually as novel as some New Yorkers may think.
The government has a lot of control over the food system right now. Whether your children go to public school, whether you're on SNAP benefits, whether you shop at a military commissary exchange program, the government is already involved in the food system.
New York's many national origins have enriched the city with a variety of foods.
I know some people want to bring up the commissary. I was in the army. That's a totally different thing. The commissary is a benefit to us. For one, it's a privilege, and it's only allocated to those who have served and are serving, veterans and are serving, and or their family members. And you have to have your military ID, something in relative to you serving and have served, and we get special discounts, and it's a community all within itself just for military personnel and past personnel like veterans that have served. And that is totally different for him. That's totally different from him taking a whole state and saying, "Oh, this has to be run by Al-Qaeda or ISIS or Hamas," if you will, because that's that's all it basically comes down to, so they won't commit riba. And if you think I'm being radical, dig into the Muslim faith. Everything they're doing, they care nothing about. He gives two rats' tails about you people. It's all to push the al-Sharia law. It's so that he doesn't want to be found guilty of committing riba. He doesn't want to be committing interest in all. So the way for him to do it is to put Muslims in the school sectors, in the housing sectors, elect his cabinet members, the one that's telling people to be gangster. How gangster are you? Commit that terrorist act. Who cares? Go to jail. Allah will reward you. You're going to go to heaven at the end of the day. You're going to go to paradise and get your 72 virgins. Meanwhile, this chick is on here telling y'all to be gangster. And in the Quran, it says that most women go to hell because they're unfaithful or some crap like that. Most of them go to hell. And then it also says, or they're promiscuous. It also says that when they get to paradise, if they get there, because they're not for sure, it doesn't tell you what they get. But meanwhile, she's telling y'all to be gangster and be terrorists. And by the way, that's one of the people he has elected in his cabinet, this radical Muslim female. Let's finish it.
30 city government has also used public property to rent to private grocers at below market value. The idea for the markets was first floated by Mayor LaGuardia during the Great Depression to combat high grocery prices, and also to clean up the streets by forcing push carts indoors.
We have 6 public markets right now that the city owns, or is the landlord through the New York City Economic Development Corporation. Many people don't know that. Arthur Avenue is one, Essex Market on the Lower East Side.
Viva Frutas is a small grocery store inside Essex Market. It's been around for over 20 years and is an example of one of those decades-long government initiatives to keep food prices low.
We have a great rate for our rent here. It's affordable. So that's why we're able to be in this place, and keep our prices a little bit lower. My clientele are mainly like low-income family, people that have benefits from the government.
Would a store like this be able to exist just across the street, but renting from a private owner?
No, there's no way.
And why not?
Because the rent is too high in this neighborhood.
We live in Chelsea. We come down here.
Why do you come all the way down here?
The prices are cheaper.
Zohan Mundani, one of the mayoral candidates, has proposed potentially putting a government-run grocery store in each borough so that he can keep prices low. I'm curious what you think about that.
I think it would be great. It's very expensive to shop at a local supermarket. It will help a lot of people that don't make a lot of money.
He's wrong.
Cuando yo escuché eso de esa bodega que va a poner el gobierno, de una vez pensé en que eso no va a afectar mucho a los pequeños negocios.
Jose Dario is from the Dominican Republic and has owned bodegas here in New York City since 1994. He worries a government store opening nearby would ultimately put him out of business.
Yo no puedo competir con una bodega del gobierno. El gobierno te va a dar unos precios demasiado baratos. El año que tengo en este país tratando de sobrevivir, echar para adelante, yo voy a retroceder.
In the Middle East, everything is run by religion, by
Private
Allah.
businesses, both big and small, have come out against Mundani's idea due to this exact concern. But at the scale he's currently proposing,
There's freedom in Christ. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. Therefore, America was so blessed. America has so many opportunities, and people were coming over here from every nation because we were still founded on Jesus Christ. Slavery and all that was wrong. It was imperfection, but all things can work together for the good of them that love the Lord. In our suffering, in our pain, he humbled us. We found Christ through our sufferings. We came out of worshiping demons and devils and paganism, the amount that he is called to. And in America, this land was founded on Jesus. That's why you had Italians. That's why you had people from all over coming to this country. And some of these same people that were oppressed in their country, like Islamic women, whether from Gaza or Ethiopia, wherever, Somali, they come over here pushing their radical Muslim agenda. But it's like, if your country was so great, why didn't you stay there? Your country was cursed. Your country was not blessed. You're trying to get to the blessed country because your country serves the wrong God. And the reason why America was so blessed and is thriving, although they have turned their back on God now, he's having mercy, but his wrath is going to fall if we don't repent. Babylon is going to fall. But the reason why is because we were founded on Jesus Christ. So because of that, the very dirt in America is blessed. When you set feet and touch America, is blessed because it's the land of opportunity. And it all goes back to because we were founded on Jesus Christ. The masonries have existed since probably the 1800s, 1700s. They had their secret cults. That's nothing new. But in general, this was a Christian nation. And because of that, because we acknowledge God and was found, he blessed this nation. These other nations are cursed. They kill females. They marry children. They have so much poverty. There's disease. There's voodoo. There's witchcraft. They worship Allah. They worship Bugatti. They worship Hinduism. They worship Buddhism. That's why there's so much death, disease, destruction, poverty, so much chaos, so much corruption in the land, them marrying children, them killing women for not wearing hijabs, for being on social media, for wearing makeup, for wearing a t-shirt and some pants. They can't, a t-shirt and some shorts. They can't do that over there, but they come over here without their hijabs on and preaching death to America, death to Jews, free Palestine, but yet you don't want to stay in Palestine. Yet you don't want to stay in your Muslim country because it's cursed. You want to be in a country that serves God and is blessed because they serve God. Make up your mind. This land was blessed because of who we serve. And if we elect this demonic terrorist, because terrorism is, I know he said he's not with it, but he is. It's his religion. That's they're following the book. If you participate and you believe in that. And if you say you don't, then why are you still a Muslim? It's in the book. Kill all the infidels. Kill those. It's the holy wars. Kill those that don't believe. So my whole point is, this is still his religion. He's pushing that al-Sharia, is pushing that Muslim law, and they're trying to do it in a land that was founded on Christ, but they're trying to bring their God and their curses to this land. And if we allow them to, basically what I'm saying is our land will become cursed and we will face the wrath of God. Let's finish the video, and with that, I'm done.
In each of 5 total would cost the city $60 million.
Experts plan wouldn't be very effective.
When you're talking about just 5 grocery stores, that's not enough to really drive the price down. I think New Yorkers access food in so many ways. I just don't see that level of threat for the private grocery stores. Something more like 20 across the city, that would maybe make a meaningful impact.
It's unclear exactly how Mundani's plan would scale up, a key detail for it to have a measurable impact. And even if it does eventually expand, questions around both logistics and cost remain.
That's crazy. You guys need to wake up and see his agenda. Wake up. People's beliefs play a very important part in how they operate, how they work with people. And for Muslims, their beliefs, even when they're at work, they're at the airport, they literally have to stop and make sure they pray. What is it, 3 or 7 times a day? I've been in the airport in the bathroom and seen them like literally feet in the sink, washing their legs and their feet. It's not only unsanitary, but it's bizarre. It's crazy. And then I was reading the Quran for myself, and it was like, you got to wash yourself every time you have sex because that's an unclean act, and make yourself clean before you come before Allah. And I'm like, listen, the only one that can cleanse us from our sin is the blood of Jesus. And if you're married and having sex and in Christ, that's not corruption. That's beautiful to Christ. You're coming together. You're doing what he called you to do. Be fruitful and multiply. You're loving your wife. You're doing what he calls you to do in marriage, and that brings honor to God if done the right way, in holiness and righteousness. And he wants you to enjoy your love space with your mate. It still glorifies God in that you have children, and and that marriage still glorifies God. He said, treat your wife like Christ treats the church. Love her as the weaker vessel. Don't hurt her. While the Quran says you can beat your wives, while they have honor killings, while they're marrying children, while Prophet Muhammad, police be upon him, the pedophile, married a 6-year-old and consummated it at 8 or 9, and they declaring all day that she was a woman, or that was puberty. That's crazy. That's a child. So our faith, it pays a lot. Like I said, and everything they do, it interacts in their daily activities. They gotta pray, they gotta go wash themselves, they gotta do all this crazy stuff. And for y'all to think for 9/11 to happen some 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and y'all turn around and still elect a terrorist. I don't care if he says he's not. Look at the people that he's running with. Look at what they're saying. She's saying, go be a gangster. Who cares if you get arrested? That's terrorism. New York has elected a terrorist as mayor, and the people that he has put in place are terrorists. They believe in Hamas. They believe in, I forgot what it's called, but they believe in that terrorist Muslim Islamic. They're jihadists. That's what it is. You've elected a jihadist. And his people that he's hired, they're jihadists. And they're telling Muslims to be gangsters and to go out there and do the unthinkable. So you guys just need to wake up. His religion, he believes what he believes, and those Muslims are in their ear, and they want to take over America. And to them, they're not going to stop until they do. But they're going to face the wrath of God. And if you guys keep electing these sinful people, you're going to screw everybody over. I just pray that God doesn't destroy the righteous with the wicked, but the Bible is going to fulfill itself one way or another. Hopefully this guy ain't the Antichrist, because that's a strong possibility that he could be an Antichrist. And then the crazy radicals and the rest of America could make this man the president. He could literally be the Antichrist. But I just remember the Antichrist being from the Middle East. And I think he grew up in Africa. I forgot the country, but it's not the Middle East. But then his mom is Indian. I'm thinking that's Middle Eastern. I think his dad is from like Northern Africa, but I don't know. He could be. Let me know your thoughts below.